They say history is written by the victors, but what if the most scrutinized event of the 20th century is still missing its final chapter? In a dramatic turn of events, over 63,000 pages of long classified records pertaining to President John F. Kennedy's 1963 assassination have just been released. And nestled among these tens of thousands of documents, historians claim to have spotted whispers of previously unknown intelligence reports and high-level communications that could tilt the narrative of that fateful November day in ways we never imagined. Certain evidence suggests these files may hint at covert operations, implicating surprising new figures in the tapestry of conspiracies that have loomed over the assassination for decades. By the end of this video, we'll reveal the most astonishing twist of all, one that has left even seasoned JFK researchers baffled. Before we dive into this jaw-dropping story, if you're as excited as we are about unraveling history's greatest mysteries, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss out on the upcoming explorations into history's hidden tales. Your support not only helps us uncover more hidden truths, but also keeps these stories in the public eye where they belong. For decades, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy has captivated the world with its combination of tragic drama and seeming unsolved mysteries. On the morning of November 22nd, 1963, Americans woke to a normal Friday in the heart of the Cold War era. By afternoon, a nation stood frozen in shock as their charismatic leader was pronounced dead, having been shot while riding in a motorcade through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. Almost immediately, questions flew in every direction. Was Lee Harvey Oswald the lone gunman? Could there have been a wider conspiracy involving intelligence agencies, organized crime, or even foreign governments? Over the years, these questions led to countless theories and investigations, culminating in the Warren Commission's official conclusion that Oswald acted alone. Yet, with each new document release, from the House Select Committee on Assassinations in the late 1970s to present-day revelations, the story continues to evolve. What has scholars especially excited this time around is the sheer volume, 63,000 plus pages, including 2,200 files made available by the US National Archives and Records Administration. Many arrive with fewer redactions than ever, meaning lines of once blacked-out text can now be scrutinized by the public. In 2017, former President Donald Trump ordered the release of thousands of additional JFK files. However, the government continued to withhold certain documents, citing national security concerns. According to official statements at the time, agencies like the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, and Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, requested ongoing redactions to protect the identities of informants and intelligence-gathering methods. Under renewed pressure to meet legal obligations imposed by the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Collection Act of 1992, which mandated full disclosure unless a clear risk to national security is demonstrated, these newly declassified files have finally seen the light of day. As stated on the National Archives' official website, the objective is to provide as much transparency as possible, and while many remain frustrated at the partial nature of certain releases, others see the newly unveiled documents as a goldmine of knowledge. So, what exactly is inside these freshly released pages? Early analyses by researchers and journalists point to several intriguing threads. Newly unredacted portions of official intelligence briefings, including those delivered to President Kennedy in the weeks leading up to November 22nd, reportedly reveal the administration's intense focus on Cuba, Soviet activities, and internal political tension. According to an investigative piece by the Washington Post, these details offer a deeper glimpse into the atmosphere of high-stakes international diplomacy that President Kennedy was navigating. Historians have long speculated about ties between the CIA and organized crime, particularly concerning anti-Castro operations. Some of the new documents highlight efforts by the agency to forge alliances with certain underworld figures who had vested interests in Cuba. While none of these documents appear to confirm a direct link to Kennedy's assassination, they do paint a vivid backdrop of complex alliances, leaving the door open for new debates on how these clandestine relationships could have influenced the events of 1963. Despite the massive release, newly discovered references to FBI files that remain under wraps add yet another layer to the puzzle. Some experts, including those quoted in Politico, argue that these still-secret records might contain crucial interviews or field reports related to Oswald's activities in the weeks before the shooting. The mere existence of these unreleased files keeps the conspiracy mill churning, particularly for those who believe official agencies are still hiding something. Several documents detail communication logs between US diplomats and overseas embassies on the day of and after Kennedy's assassination. These logs may reveal how foreign leaders reacted to the news and whether any suspicious correspondence took place during that chaotic period. Researchers at the Mary Ferrell Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to JFK assassination records, suggest that these communications could highlight how various governments perceived Oswald or potential conspirators. From the moment of Kennedy's death, conspiracy theories flourished, fueled in part by conflicting accounts from witnesses, the abrupt murder of Oswald by Jack Ruby, and the government's own secrecy over intelligence documents. With each wave of declassification, historians apply rigorous academic methods, cross-referencing dates, verifying statements with known facts, and using digital tools to search for anomalies across thousands of pages. Even the most disciplined experts concede that new evidence might reshape parts of the narrative. Yet, they also stress that critical thinking is paramount. As Pulitzer Prize-winning author and JFK researcher Tim Weiner warns, the presence of an intriguing piece of data is not proof of a conspiracy. You have to connect it to established facts. The challenge, then, lies in sifting through an endless sea of partially redacted memos, foreign cables, and testimony transcripts to establish a coherent timeline that either confirms or questions the single gunman conclusion. This remarkable release of documents owes much to continuing public pressure, from historians to everyday citizens, demanding clarity on a day that forever changed America. The power of these newly uncovered materials lies not in a singular smoking gun, but in the subtle details that collectively fill gaps in our understanding. When thousands of people with different expertise start analyzing the documents, some focusing on CIA operations, others on FBI records, still others on foreign intelligence services, small revelations in each corner can add up to a significant re-examination of history. That being said, the disclosure still isn't complete. According to National Archives press statements and coverage by CNN, certain files remain locked, fueling ongoing speculation. The National Archives has stated these omissions are in line with legal exceptions, meaning some documents might remain secret to protect ongoing intelligence operations or personal privacy. Whether these withheld files contain information that could revolutionize our understanding of the assassination, or are simply protecting innocuous details, remains a point of fervent debate. With each new detail, we inch closer to a more comprehensive vision of what happened on that dark November day. Yet, the enduring aura of Kennedy's assassination might mean no amount of documentation will ever lay every question to rest. The complexity of the era, encompassing the Cold War, tensions with Cuba, potential mob involvement, and internal political rivalries, virtually guarantees that speculation will persist. But here's the final twist. According to a small note tucked away in a previously redacted CIA memo, an unnamed agency asset was allegedly operating in Dallas days before the assassination. Though the identity and purpose of this individual remain unclear, the memo suggests that they possessed intelligence possibly relevant to the president's safety. Researchers have yet to ascertain whether this particular lead is a dead end or the tip of something far more alarming. In other words, the 63,000 pages may be just the start of a new series of revelations still waiting to be uncovered by eagle-eyed historians. So, was it all a lone gunman, or is there still a missing piece that could rewrite the Warren Commission's findings? One thing is certain: the new documents released in the last 24 hours have cast fresh light on this monumental event. As investigators and experts continue sifting through thousands of lines of text, we can only wait, watch, and wonder, will this long-awaited transparency finally give us the answers we've sought for half a century? Or will it simply feed the endless theories swirling around one of the most iconic mysteries in modern history? Thank you for joining me on this journey into newly revealed history. If you enjoyed diving into these fresh facts and thought-provoking tidbits, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for even more deep explorations into our world's hidden stories. Who knows, the next revelation might be just a redacted sentence away. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.